You're watching the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. Welcome inside Savage Arena for a sneaky good Tuesday night matchup between the MAC and the Valley. The Bradley Braves bring a 3-game winning streak to the Glass City to take on the 6-2 Toledo Rockets. Great to have you along, everybody. Mason Lowry, Red Boyd, Normandy Burrell will join us a little later on. It's a really intriguing matchup between a Bradley program that hangs its hat on defense and its physicality and a Toledo team that can move the ball as well as anyone.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of wills. Something has to give here this evening. You said it, Bradley, known for their defense, their physicality, their ability to rebound the basketball. They're holding teams just 38% from the field, going up against a Toledo team. Player movement, ball movement. That's a staple of their success. They got 4 guys that average in double figures. For a defense, it's hard to dig your heels in against these Toledo Rockets on most nights. You just don't know who is going to step up and beat you. This is going to be an outstanding matchup between these two clubs.
Let's zero in on a couple of lead guards who are in their first years in their respective programs. Ray J. Dennis was at Boise State for 2 years before moving east to Toledo, having a really good start to his Rocket career.
Yeah, a smooth operator on that point guard position. Very even keeled emotionally, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low through the roller coaster of a basketball game. On the offensive end, he's averaging just under 12 points a game. He can finish at the rim, off the dribble. He has a good floater game once he's in the paint as well. He can also knock down an open 3 when given the opportunity. He needs to continue to be that steady hand for the Toledo Rockets here this evening. The Toledo's going to get a big home win.
Meanwhile, Terry Roberts was a JUCO star down in Florida this time last year. He's made the transition to the D1 game look pretty easy.
Yeah, he really has. An outstanding addition to this ball club, averaging just under 15 points a game. He's had 2 ball games this year. He's been over the 20-point mark, including a season-high 24 against Colorado State. A lot of his damage done from behind the 3-point line. 15 made threes while shooting an outstanding 39%. He needs to continue to be the catalyst for this ball club on both ends of the floor, and Bradley's going to get a big road win here at Savage Arena.
Well, look at those two handsome devils from so long ago back in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Todd Kowalczyk on the right was Green Bay's head coach. Brian Wardle, seated to his left, was one of his assistants. When Todd Kowalczyk came to Toledo, Brian Wardle slid 1 chair over, became Green Bay's head coach, had great success there. He's worked wonders with this Bradley program since he took over, and Todd has done the same here at Toledo.
Oh, without question. Coach Kowalczyk has been as good as it gets in that midnight blue and gold, walking that sideline. 20-plus wins in 5 of his 8 seasons at the helm. You know, he's just done wonders with this program. When Coach Kowalczyk took over, it was in dire straits. Only had like 4 wins, and then he takes it over, and again, 20-plus wins, 5 of his 8 years. Outstanding job.
And you see them now, they haven't changed too much.
Not too much. 2 great competitors putting their clubs on the floor here. This is going to be an outstanding matchup this evening. They played the last 2 seasons to some very competitive ball games, and we expect tonight to be no different.
Yeah, last year was a thriller to open the season down in Cincinnati at Xavier's multi-team event. Bradley won 61-59 on a shot inside the final second. I think we could both agree that we wouldn't mind if this one came down to the last possession, too. Seth Milner and Rink Mast jump center, tip controlled by the Rockets. They're in the home whites, Bradley in red. Seth Milner has had a great start to the season, averaging 15 points and about 6.5 rebounds a game. One of those 4 guys you mentioned in the open, averaging in double figures for the Midnight Blue and Gold. Really tough matchup on the inside, trying to body with Jashawn Henry, who's big and strong himself at 6'6", 230. Here comes Raheem Moss on the drive. Got sandwiched between 2 defenders, and Ray J. Dennis says, look what I found.
That's a great job by Raheem Moss. The shot fake on the perimeter gave him a crease down the lane, and then he played 2-on-1 with Ray J. Dennis.
A truly international Bradley starting 5. Henry from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Mast and Leons, both from the Netherlands. Tavanainen from Finland, a sharpshooter from the outside, and Terry Roberts, we mentioned in the open, from the less exotic North Amityville, New York. Their leading scorer, averaging 15 a game. He's got the first 2 of the night, unsurprisingly for the Braves. That won't go for JT Shoemate. Roberts always with the eyes up. They've got a bunch of guys that can shoot. So too to the Rockets. Moss, Rollins, Dennis the guards, Milner and Shoemate the forwards. It's Terry Roberts 4, Toledo 2 in the early going.
Yeah, his length has been seen already. He got the ball, he got a soft jumper to go that way, the step back fadeaway. Able to get it up and down. Off to a great start here on the road.
Raheem Moss has been a nice addition to the Rocket lineup this year. Tough, hard-nosed wing, 7 points, 5 rebounds a game, and there's a reach in. First foul on Roberts, and that's going to be a matchup to watch all night as well. Roberts against Ryan Rollins, the max leading scorer.
Yeah, Roberts cannot pick up his second foul early in this half, or he's going to have to play with 2 or sit. For Bradley tonight, special nights. Got Roberts averaging just under 15 points a game, but only 2 players in double figures on this ball club. The 3rd and 4th scoring option is going to have to step up and be special here tonight. They're going to get a big road win. Also, the 3 ball. They only shoot 33% from behind the long line on the season. Shot the ball well as of late and win the one-on-one battles defensively. If you can win the one-on-one battles defensively, you don't have to help from the wings. That's what Toledo predicates their offense on is ball movement, they making the extra pass on kickouts and getting the open shot. And for Toledo, again, we just said it, ball movement. Dribble penetration allows you to break down the defense, allows you to kick out, make the extra pass, hit the open looks. 3-point shooting, not where they would like it to be at this point in the season, just 32% on the season. Obviously look for that to improve and limit paint touches defensively. Again, when you can keep your five men on defense intact, not having to help, it forces teams to make contested jump shots and keeps you in rebounding position. That'll be, if you're able to do that, that's a recipe for success on that end of the floor.
Ville Tavanainen called for steps. Junior from Helsinki, a 35% outside shooter, and you mentioned they really struggled to shoot early on in the season. Bradley's first 4 games shot 40% from the floor, and ice cold 25% from 3. Well, in their last 3, 48% from the floor, 44% from the outside.
And consequently, they're 3-0 in their last 3 ball games as a result of that hot shooting. See if they can keep it alive here in Savage Arena.
Dennis, the floater wouldn't go, but Shoemate the offensive rebound and put back to tie it at 4.
Yeah, JT Shoemate in the 5-man on paper for the Toledo Rockets, but he has the ability to stretch the floor. That time did a good job getting on the offensive glass.
Quick trigger, and we said that Tavanainen could do just that. One of just 6 players in Bradley history to have at least 43s, freshman and sophomore season, gets his first of the night.
Yeah, that's his 13th of the season. 35% from the floor. You'll take that if you're Coach Wardle.
Seth Milner walled off on the baseline, twisting and turning and scoring. Roberts and Lyons were both there to defend. Lapse of concentration for a split second, and Milner took advantage.
Yeah, just patient, good footwork. The double team left, and then he had one-on-one deep in the low box to be able to finish.
That's slick from Malevi Lyons, the National Junior College Player of the Year last year at Mineral Area College. Having a really good first season in Division I basketball, had 21 points against Duquesne down in the Paradise Jam of the Virgin Islands. That included 5 made threes. Ray J. Dennis showing us his mid-range game. At the other end, Henry couldn't score in transition. That's a tie-up. Ray J. Dennis not afraid to get his hands dirty. The arrow will stay with Bradley. Connor Hickman and Jason Kent both checking in. Hickman, a freshman from Bloomington, Indiana. And Kent from Oak Forest, Illinois. Tough matchup at 6'7" and a very good outside shooter. Hit 4 threes in the Braves' 25-point win over SIU Edwardsville last time out. Hickman going right by Shoemate, who recovers to pick up his 9th block of the season. And then a travel called on Bradley.
Yeah, Hickman just into the ballgame. Looking to get an uncontested left-hand layup, as Shoemate. So you're able to recover, use the length to get a piece of that basketball, and then you get the turnover coming back the other way.
You know, for all the things we thought we would see from JT Shoemate last year, coming off the bench when he was eligible after transferring from Walsh, we didn't expect him to be a really, really good shot blocker.
No, he's just he has outstanding basketball IQ on both ends of the floor, and you know, he doesn't give up on the play, has a high motor, and you saw that there in the defensive end.
Roberts on Ryan Rollins, who averages 20 points a game. There's his first points of the night.
That's pretty good defense by Roberts. Just a better shot by Ryan Rollins for Toledo, average over 20 points this season.
Lyons making it rain from the outside.
He's another guy that can really stick to 3. They got 4 guys that have knocked down double-digit threes already this season. 2 of them made their presence known here already.
Milner, long 2, rattles out. Been so good at tipping passes this year, Toledo, but Roberts takes it right back from Milner. Rollins back defensively, pins it to the backboard. There's Henry with the follow and got a bump on the way up. First foul on JT Shoemate. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We're hoping to see this tempo for all 40 minutes.
Some of us were born for this. To protect people. To help them save. With a home and auto bundle from Progressive. I was born for this. And now, it's prime time.
Cut. Jamie, what are you doing? You're not even in this one.
I thought it was Thursday. Sorry.
It is.
No, I thought it was last Thursday.
Meet Tempo, the home gym with a built-in personal trainer. Tempo helps you maximize every workout with custom plans and real-time feedback on your form. Powered by 3D Vision, Tempo is the interactive technology that trains you. With thousands of workouts, including strength training to cardio, yoga, boxing, and more. Get ready to discover what you're truly capable of. Tempo. Find your strength.
Udemy.
No matter how you say it, it's a top online learning destination with thousands of courses.
Around the world, we're helping people achieve their goals.
I learned Python and became a software engineer.
Udemy can help you start a new career.
Or just learn something new.
Whatever you want to learn, discover the perfect course for your goal.
Udemy.
What have you always wanted to learn?
(12-10) Bradley with the early lead over the Toledo Rockets here at Savage Arena. Mason Lowry, Rhett Boyd in the booth. Let's welcome in the third member of our team, Normandy Burl. Hey, Normandy.
Hey, Rhett and Mason. You know, you guys talked about Coach Wardle and Coach Kowalczyk a little bit earlier and how they both got their beginnings in Green Bay a little bit. And you know what? I'm a little jealous as a Packers fan. However, another coach I got to talk to earlier today was Justin Ingram, and he said that his kids are actually will call up their players and actually just FaceTime him whether he's home or not, and they just want to talk to these kids. They stress all the time about how big of role models that they are, and the guys love being around their families, and Justin Ingram says he loves coming into work, one, because it keeps him employed, but also it keeps his kids entertained and gives them an opportunity to learn the game from a whole new perspective.
Normandy, thanks. Very much a family atmosphere around this Toledo program.
Oh, without question, and that's what that's why guys love playing here. They, with the teammates that they have, the coaching staff that they have, and and that's why these teams, this program's been able to have a sustained level of success for so long under Coach Kowalczyk's guidance.
Jashawn Henry gets one of the two free throws. Free throw shooting not a strength of this Bradley team. They shoot just 62% from the free throw line collectively. Cooper Jacoby off the bench, and so is Keyshawn Saunders out of the first media timeout. Now that's a little bit of a surprise. Saunders didn't play at all the first 6 games of the season for Toledo, but Todd Kowalczyk said this week his team needs a little more of an offensive spark coming off the bench, and we know he can provide it.
Yeah, he's had 14 points in the last 2 ball games. So again, just trying to provide that spark off the bench. He'll take some, if he's able to do it, he'll take some stress off of the needed production of your starting 5. Knowing you got a guy off the bench, he can get you potentially double figures, if not close to it.
Jacoby fouled on the catch underneath. That's the first on Jason Kent, whose father, also named Jason, played at Ohio University for a couple of years in the early 90s. Mom Anna played at West Virginia as well. Rink Mast back in the ball game. An outstanding rebounder for the Braves. Just under 9 a contest. A foul on the inbounds. That's on Hickman.
Yeah, Hickman got caught behind JT Shoemate. He was going to give him a layup or corral him. He corralled him. At least allows the defense to reset 5-on-5.
JT Shoemate goes right by Rink Mast, couldn't finish, gets the offensive rebound. I don't know how he did that. He wasn't facing the basket.
No, just got on the inside hip of Mast, which gave him the opening to get the shot up. And as a shooter, you know if the ball is going to be on target or not. You can oftentimes react faster than the defender. He's able to do that, get the offensive rebound put back.
Mikey Howell, a kick to the corner. Tamanainen airmailed that three. Mikey Howell, a grad transfer from UC San Diego, that program's all-time leader in assists. Shoemate got Mast airborne, drives and scores. JT Shoemate off to a fabulous start.
And that's the matchup problems that Toledo poses for most opponents, especially the 5 spot. JT Shoemate has the ability to shoot the 3. You got to press him tight. But also you see there, put the ball on the floor and finish through traffic.
Howell running the show with Terry Roberts on the bench. Tamanainen airballed his last shot from there, closer that time. Shoemate wipes it away for the Rockets. Jacoby. That's blocked. Jason Kent got a hand in there. Rockets can set it up again. 15 on the shot clock. And Raheem Moss stepped on the baseline. Well, Toledo's making shots in the early going here, but you can certainly see the physicality of the way that Bradley plays defense.
Yeah, they do a good job at just staying between man and basket, and they can take a bump and still maintain their positioning, and that allows you to have a chance to win those one-on-one battles we talked about. If you can guard the basketball one-on-one and not require help, it allows your wings to stay intact. Your bottom guys don't have to step up and help and leave nobody on the back end. And you can guard well that way. But it's all predicated on the guy in the basketball to be able to contain that dribble without needing help.
Brian Baroni, the SIU Edwardsville coach, his Bradley team beat him by 25 on Saturday, said they'd played Creighton and Marquette earlier in non-conference play. Bradley was the most physical team that they'd seen to that point. Miller and Rollins back in the game for Toledo. This is Saunders from the outside, boarded by Mikey Howell. Elijah Wilson in for the first time. Freshman from down in Georgia. That's a whistle, a clear out away from the ball. That's on Mast, the big center.
I couldn't see who the defender was, but he just dislodged him out of that low block area. Mast doesn't like it. Let's see, down there gets Keyshawn Saunders. He just kind of extends the arm there. Keyshawn Saunders working to get out in front, and Mast just extends the arm. That's what got the call.
Rollins just 2 points so far. Working on Roberts, nice step through, tees up Jacoby, that's blocked by Mast. Such a tough team defensively around the rim, the Bradley Braves, and Roberts to the free throw line. After the timeout, he was fouled by Milner.
Yeah, that's a tough sequence there for Toledo. Looks like you had a point-blank layup. Cooper Jacoby went up, just got rejected, and down on the other end, Roberts does what he does best. That's get to the cup. He'll get to the free throw line.
Some of us were born for this. To protect people. To help them save. With a home and auto bundle from Progressive. I was born for this. And now, it's prime time.
Cut. Jamie, what are you doing? You're not even in this one.
I thought it was Thursday. Sorry.
It is.
No, I thought it was last Thursday.
Because you're forever connected by love. 2 touching center diamonds, representing the connection you share. Forever connected. The perfect gift to give this holiday. Exclusively at Kay.
Dunkin' is here with your holiday helpers. Peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes. A touch of delicious holiday magic to help you seize the season. Sip through the holidays with signature lattes at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Are you ready for a mashup of division rivals on Monday night? Are Fields and the Bears ready to air it out at the Midway? Are Cook and the Vikings ready to run wild on the road? Are you ready?
this time, everybody has a shot. Welcome to a new time. Anyone's time.
One-point Toledo lead on the Bradley Braves, who have been scoreless for nearly 3 minutes now. It's the 10th all-time meeting between these two programs. Toledo has wins over Bradley in 1941 and 1946. The first two meetings between the two. It's been all Bradley since then.
I missed those two games.
And Roberts, well, we said they really struggle at the free throw line, the Braves. Roberts played his junior college ball at Florida Southwestern. Left as their all-time leader in steals and the top 10 in scoring as well. It's been a really intriguing start, Rhett. A fast start from both offenses, and then between the first and second media timeouts, it all kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, the defense has really stepped up and played really well, contesting everything at the rim. I think if you look at right there's case in point, Jashawn Henry there. It's Malavi Leons on the swat there. But I think if you look in totality, both coaches got to be happy. I think with the way both these clubs have come out and they've competed. I think for Toledo, you got 10 paint points out of your 14. That's a recipe for success. You're able to sustain that throughout the ballgame.
Backdoor play, Ryan Rollins, that's what he does. And Ray J. Dennis going back up the floor, wondering why there wasn't an and one opportunity on the end of that.
Yeah, very well could have been, but a great job. Good touch pass, Rollins, high to the sky to get it and put it up and down.
He just seems to hang in the air a split second longer than everybody else.
Yeah, he really does, and that even on his jump shot as well. It just takes a little fraction of a second of hang time that's the difference sometimes to get the shot off.
Then forces the turnover. 4-on-2 and off the hands of Seth Milner out of bounds.
Okay, good job by the Rockets. Running the floor there. You had a 3-on-1 opportunity. Didn't cash in, but you like the unselfishness. Pushing the tempo.
This is that press that has been so effective for Toledo at times this year. They forced 10 Michigan State turnovers on Saturday with that full court pressure, and that three from Leons ends a scoring drought of over 4 minutes.
Yeah, dribble penetration there. Forced Toledo to scramble a bit defensively, and Leons found an opening and drilled it. The second triple of the evening.
If you were to ask Todd Kowalczyk about the loss at Michigan State on Sunday, he would tell you that he was really pleased with his team for 32 minutes. There was an 8-minute stretch in the first half when they were really poor offensively, not making shots, taking bad shots, not trusting each other in the way that he would want them to. But they defended, they competed, they won the second half by 8. Plenty of positives to take away from it, albeit in a loss.
Well, I think there is too, especially just the simple fact when they were down 20 at the half. And a lot of teams up there in the Breslin Center against Coach Tom Izzo's basketball clubs are going to fold at that point and play the string out. This team responded. They got punched in the mouth in the first half, and they responded. And they immediately cut into that lead after the first media timeout of the second half and got it down to 11 at one point. Just ran out of time. But you can take that away from it. Your team faced adversity, and they responded in a positive manner from it.
Connor Hickman's three gave Bradley the lead. Cooper Jacoby will check in for Seth Milner. Mikey Howell back off the bench for the Braves. Mikey Howell's back home in a sense. He's from Columbus, lived there till the age of 10, and then moved out west to San Diego. Shoemate denied baseline. Mast is just so big at 6'9", 240. Nice cut by Rollins, and Jacoby set him up.
Yeah, nice job, Jacoby. Nice little bounce pass to Rollins. And again, the elevation of Ryan Rollins absorbing contact up at the rim, able to finish.
Both ball handlers on the floor together, Roberts and Howell. That's Roberts through traffic and making it look pretty easy.
Yeah, he gets a shoulder square, gets downhill. That length is just superior up at rim level.
I get the sense when he wants to get to the basket, he's going to find a way. drove into traffic, and Leons took the ball away. Fourth Toledo turnover. That's Henry, had it stuffed by Raheem Moss.
He's got a high level of basketball being played right now by both clubs on both ends of the floor. Neither team is given an inch.
Jacoby trying to dive after. That was forced by Jashawn Henry, cutting off that passing lane, and it will be Bradley basketball. First foul on Cooper Jacoby. Saunders back in, and Darius Hannah in for the first time for the Braves, a 6'9" sophomore from Milwaukee. Bradley every bit as physical and long as we were led to believe.
Oh, absolutely, and they play with great. They're connected. They're connected defensively and offensively. When you got a guy like Roberts who can break your defense down, he gives you a chance each and every possession down the floor.
Well, that's the kind of defense that Todd Kowalczyk wants to see from Keyshawn Saunders as Bradley picks up a foul.
Yeah, did a great job. Forced an acrobatic contested jump shot over an extended hand. Rockets coming up big on the defensive end.
It's the first foul on Jashawn Henry, whose Bradley Braves lead on the road by 3.
Some of us were born for this. To protect people. To help them save. With a home and auto bundle from Progressive. I was born for this. And now, it's prime time.
Cut. Jamie, what are you doing? You're not even in this one.
I thought it was Thursday. Sorry.
It is.
No, I thought it was last Thursday.
What makes the holidays magical? Ironically, it isn't magic. It's when stress instantly vanishes. And objects just appear. When people share good tidings and things miraculously materialize. All so you can make the holidays exactly how you want them. Just like magic. Make the holidays yours with a little help from the Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home now, right away. I'm coming home, baby. I'm sorry now, I am away.
The ride of your life is closer than you think. For the first time ever, buy your new car entirely from home with Nissan at Home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway.
I'm coming home now, real soon.
Staring at fate. I'm in the lead and I'm breaking away. She want me now, but I'm making her wait.
What are we doing here? Scotty, college athletes can get paid now, man. I'm going back. Oh, don't go back. Repeat after me. Watch ESPN on Hulu Plus Live TV. Watch ESPN on Hulu Plus Live TV. Cash and checks, kid.
Well, over the Thanksgiving holiday, the Toledo Rockets went down to the Bahamas and came back with the Nassau Championship tournament title with 3 wins in 3 days. Bradley had kind of a rough go of it at the Paradise Jam down in the U.S. Virgin Islands. They lost back-to-back-to-back games to Colorado State, Brown, and Duquesne, all games that were one-possession games inside the final minute. Brian Wardle said they were close, but not quite there yet. Since then, they've shot the ball with a lot more confidence. As a result, they've ripped off 3 straight W's.
Yeah, and got a big conference win as well, in Northern Iowa being one of those ball games. And Raheem Moss knocking down a 3 for the Rockets. But, you know, you talk about their struggles from behind the 3-point line in the first 4 ball games, but shooting 42% in the last in the last 3. Consequently, they won all 3 ball games. So good for them, and obviously over Coach Wardle, they continue that hot streak, especially here on the road against a very good Toledo team.
Mason, you mentioned it. You know, they struggled down there at the Virgin Islands. However, last year it wasn't really basketball for these Braves. That was a really great team bonding for these guys, and they were able to eat many team dinners and take many adventures together. And Brian Wardle said, above all else, that was a really good takeaway for us.
Yeah, that's something that really all teams across America didn't have the chance to do last year, and that is all of that team bonding stuff in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic that is still going on, incidentally. But it's been business as usual for most of college basketball, and that's a great thing.
It's a great thing, and those trips too. The team bonding thing is, you can't put a price tag on that in terms of what it does for your ball club. Keyshawn Saunders getting in the act, shooting the 3, coming off that Rocket bench. But you know, it's because when you're at those trips, hey, they're beautiful locations, right? Warm weather, sun, and everything. But it's just you. It's just you with your teammates, and it's a great chance to learn each other off of the basketball floor. You hang out, and when you develop that rapport with one another, it really helps you in ball games. You know, when you go through some tough times, you got guys there that got your back and back you up, and they're there to support you when things go well.
Darius Hanna's bucket on the baseline ends a 8-0 Toledo run. Rockets getting 3s from Raheem Moss and Keyshawn Saunders, and a putback from the 7-footer Mihai Carcona, who is not in a position to take that entry pass from Ray J. Dennis. Rink Mast back in for the Braves.
So Mihai Carcona get some early run here for Toledo. Size inside. He's able to cash in on a putback a bit earlier. Again, along with Keyshawn Saunders, some offense off the bench, which has been hit or miss for this Rocket team this year.
Howell got open. Tavanainen is open from the outside. Long rebound, popped right back to him, and a fresh 20 for Bradley.
Yeah, Toledo didn't finish the box out there on the play. You got to think about it. Long shots, long rebounds. Going to have to hold that box out until you secure the ball.
Little low from Mast, and then Carcona came up with a block. Saunders the trailer. In and out. Keyshawn Saunders, that foul notwithstanding, has put in a pretty good shift off the bench in this half.
Yeah, he really has. And again, he's a guy that we've seen it throughout the course of his career. Coming off the bench, that 6th man, and can really score the basketball. Had a career-high 20 points against Eastern Michigan earlier in his career. You know, and as he continues to produce off the bench, he'll continue to get more time. Because they need that production from a veteran coming off that bench on both ends of the floor.
Mast from the outside, where he has really struggled this season. Rink Mast went 3 for 3 from 3 in a win over Maine late last month. His other now 9 games, and just 1 of 26 from out there. Shoemate's had a good first half, 6 points. So crafty on the inside. Has got the fall-away game working.
Yeah, it's just a tough matchup for Mast against Shoemate. Shoemate very agile. You know, very athletic for his size, and Matt's doing everything he can position-wise to stay in front, but Shoemate's just making some really tough plays on the offensive end.
Quick trigger from the corner. That's Jason Kent with a misfire. Bradley 4 of 10 from outside. Let Ryan Rollins create. Jacoby from the top. That's not really his game. He's 1 of 5 from the outside on the season, and that's true.
He does have the ability to really be extremely productive from 15 feet and in right now, but as he continues to grow in this program, he'll develop that shot. You know, and it was an open shot. You were able to step into it, get a clean look from the top. It didn't go, but you like the aggressiveness.
If you want to become a good outside shooter, come and play for Todd Kowalczyk.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we talked about, you know, the big term nowadays is another 3-ball right there for Mikey Howell. To 6th of the season. That positionless basketball, that's the big term nowadays, right? You don't have to be a traditional 4 or 5 man going from block to block or just in the mid-range in. If you can stretch the floor, you know, coaches will find a spot for you.
Jacoby with the offensive rebound off of Shoemate's miss. Rollins steps into a three. Banks it home.
Counts all the same. Banks open on this Tuesday evening.
The Rockets were a dismal 4 of 24 from 3 up at the Breslin Center on Saturday. So far, 3 of 8. Not the same kind of three-point shooting team that we saw last year. And how could you be without Marion Jackson and Spencer Littleson? Littleson, the nation's best three-point shooter statistically last year. But they got guys that can score in different ways. Shooting a catch-and-shoot jumper wouldn't go from the free throw line. That's an offensive foul. The charge taken by Keyshawn Saunders. He's showing Todd Kowalczyk what Todd wants to see.
Yeah, he wants to see production on both ends of the floor. And Keyshawn Saunders giving it to his ball club here in the Glass City.
And the blowout continues. Breaks a tackle now at Allen. He will score. Touchdown.
New players, new coaches. It'll be must-see TV.
Welcome to the playoff.
Cincinnati knows it's us against the world, and the world right now is Alabama.
Michigan is a dangerous team.
Georgia's been dominant all season.
This is big lights, big stage.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN. Welcome home.
New players, new coaches. It'll be must-see TV.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
All right, coming out of the break, Keyshawn Saunders off that Rocket bench, knocked down to 3 earlier. This time stepping in and taking the charge against Mikey Howell. Bench production throughout this season has been hit or miss for the Toledo Rockets. Keyshawn Saunders has proven over the course of his career he can be that guy to give them an offensive lift. He's shown that here this evening, knocking down to 3 that time, getting it done on the defensive end as well, saving a possession for his ball club.
Rhett and Mason, as soon as he stood up, he looked right at the bench, right at the coaching staff, and he said, that's what I'm talking about. That's that energy and that just enough cockiness that this Toledo team really needs out here on the court to bring that spark that the bench needs to contribute.
If the kids like to say swagger, he brought a little bit of swagger to the floor.
Ray J. Dennis called for traveling right in front of the Bradley bench. If you are going to see serious time off of a Todd Kowalczyk bench, you have to play with energy and you got to defend.
Yeah, you really do. You know, obviously, offensive production is nice and it's needed, but you have to do it on both ends of the floor. Bring that energy, and Keyshawn Saunders has done that for his ball club here this evening.
A traveling call in front of the Toledo bench. That was Leon's. It looked a little bit awkward. May Levi Leon's had offers from places like DePaul and Missouri, Vanderbilt, Marquette, but loved the winning culture at Bradley and also was familiar with Rink Mast from back home in the Netherlands. Friendly rivals against each other growing up. Leon's as a kid tried soccer and judo, wasn't great at either of those things, grew up in a port city but wasn't a particularly strong swimmer, and of course when you're a tall kid people are going to throw basketballs at you, and he really took to it. Here's Roberts rising up. He has cooled off after a really quick start. Been stuck on 6 points for a while now. Milner running the floor, tiptoeing along the baseline, did well not to let his momentum take him out of bounds. Rollins from the outside. Milner will collect this way beyond the arc, and a fresh 20 for Toledo. Rollins needs somebody to flash open. Milner did, 7 to shoot. Gonna go with Darius Hannah. He traveled. Good defense.
Yeah, good defense once again. Just good one-on-one defense against Cedric Miller. Cedric Miller has really good footwork off of the dribble there. This time, yeah, doing an extra half step in there to try to create some space, but right in front of the official. Official makes the call.
A few too many turnovers for both coaches' liking, really. Bradley's turned it over 10 times, Toledo 9. Going to get Moss in the shirt of Jashawn Henry.
He really tried to deny the handoff there, Raheem Moss did. Just got a little bit too much hand fighting going on there, and he got called for the hold.
The thing that Todd Kowalczyk wants to see from Raheem Moss, better offensive rebounding. He has the potential to be an elite offensive rebounder. Does get 5 boards a game, but they'd love to see him be a little more active on the offensive glass. There's another turnover.
Yeah, they're going to get Roberts there. He did a good job turning the corner, but JT Shoemate was there waiting for him, and he extended that off arm. You see right here, the push off gets Shoemate off balance. Referee makes the call on behalf of JT Shoemate and the Rockets.
Picks up his 2nd foul, so he'll be off the floor for the last 92 seconds of the half. Rollins banks it home, and one more coming at the line.
He's a special talent, Ryan Rollins. Comes in this ballgame averaging just over 20 points a game, and this is a little bit reason why. Just needs a small crease. Rises through traffic, kiss off the glass, and Ryan Rollins gets to the line for an old-fashioned three-point opportunity.
That was Toledo's first free throw attempt of the night, and it's no good. Good free throw shooting team, 76% for the year. With Roberts on the bench, Howell a very capable lead guard. Here he is down the lane, count the bucket.
So Toledo really played Howell to his right hand, and Howell took advantage, going to the left, and finishing it through 2 defenders. He caught Toledo off guard just for a split second. That's all he needed to get to the cup and get it up and down.
Shoemate then gets his 2nd foul, and Cooper Jacoby has to come back in. A guy who averages more assists than points per game on the season, 3.6 to 3.3, misses the free throw. And Moss is fouled as he accelerated to the basket before the shot. That's unmasked, and that's his 2nd. So the fouls on key pieces for both teams piling up here near halftime.
Yeah, you only got a minute left here, and you got to play this game out. You got to play it right to the end with great confidence. That was a tough matchup for Mass. Raheem Moss coming downhill with the dribble, able to get to the corner and get to the rim, get contact.
Moss, such a junkyard dog, as the coaches would put it. We had so much fun listening to him on the bench last year. And of course, Savage Arena, as all arenas were around college basketball, basically empty, so you could hear the bench chatter from a long way away. We heard him.
Yeah, that was great. He provided that energy. You had to generate. You had to generate your own enthusiasm and energy in the cavernous arena. And him and a couple of the other guys at the end of the bench last year really got into it and kind of took it on their own to make sure their club was, had that energy, and they fed off of it. And that's the way. Having to sit out last year, that was the way he was able to contribute to the team's success. And now this year, with fans back in the arena, we can't understate how great that is. Just having fans, around, and the sights, the smells of, having a full arena and watching Division I college basketball. It's awesome to have that back.
Great for the players, great for the fans, great for us.
It's a win-win all the way around.
Toledo will take the lead into halftime. Only question now is how big will that lead be. Here's Moss in the corner. Rollins set him up. Hannah came down with a rebound, and Bradley now can play for the final shot of the half. you don't have your go-to scorer on the floor in Terry Roberts, who can answer the bell. Leons from the corner, got it! There's your answer. Levi Leons with another 3. He's got 11 points, and that pulls Bradley to within 4.
Leons, his 3rd triple of the ball game, 18 for the season. Bradley back in this one.
Let's go to Normandy.
I'm here with Coach Kowalczyk. You guys had 21 rebounds and 11 second chance points in the first half. How big is controlling the glass going to contribute to this game?
Well, they're a very good rebounding team, but so are we. But disappointing we give up a 3 at the last possession.
And what do you want to see going into the second half to improve?
Just a little more urgency, a little more talk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Normandy. Really entertaining first half of basketball here in the Glass City. Toledo up 4 on the Bradley Braves.
Are you ready for Monday night?
You want a great team? You gotta build it, piece by piece. Start with a few natural-born leaders, old vets who've seen it all, and a few youngsters just getting started. Those with chips on their shoulders and ice in their veins. You find a cast of characters like that, you've got yourself one hell of a team.
Halftime here at Savage Arena. You're watching the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. Toledo up 4 on Bradley of the Missouri Valley Conference, 35-31. Welcome up to the booth, Mason Lowry, Rhett Boyd. Great to have you with us. We said at the open this was a sneaky good matchup. It's not sneaky anymore. It's just good.
No, this is 2 high-level mid-major programs going at it. In this first half of basketball was elite basketball on both ends of the floor from both clubs. You know, I thought both these teams had to earn everything they got on the offensive end, and defensively they were very stout and they were very stingy. It's what we thought was going to happen in this ball game coming into this one. And I think when you look at some of the hidden stats there, I think Toledo's at 9 offensive rebounds for 11 second chance points, and they got 20 points in the paint so far this evening. I think for Bradley, the ability to knock down 6 triples in the opening half has really kept them in this ball game. And they got 10 points off that bench as well, which you always need all hands on deck in every game, especially when you're on the road. You know, but I thought overall between both clubs, it was high power basketball, and both teams really made some difficult plays to get the ball in the bucket.
JT Shoemate keeping that play alive and scoring underneath. He had 8 first-half points and 6 rebounds. Pretty impressive numbers against a big and athletic Bradley front line.
Yeah, and Bradley's front line too. They rejected some shots in there. They looked like point-blank, layups or putbacks, and they didn't give up on the play and were able to get some stops. And Toledo did the same thing on the other end of the floor. They took some charges, and they also had a couple blocks themselves. So nothing is going to be easy in this one. Everything's going to have to be earned. And if the first half is any indication what the second half is going to be, we're going to be in for a beauty.
Ryan Rollins getting the and one on the inside. How about Mikey Howell with Terry Roberts on the bench getting the and one opportunity? Couldn't cash in on the free throw, but here he is setting up Leon's at the first half horn.
Yeah, Leon's there, 3 triples in that opening half. Comes in this ballgame shooting 40% from the big line, knocked down his 18th at the end of that first half. So being extremely productive here for the ball club, averaging just under 10 points a game. But I think when you look here, Toledo 21 rebounds, 15 to Bradley, plus 6. I think if you're Coach Walter, that's going to make you happy. 20 points as well. But I think for both clubs, the turnovers got to be cut down in the second half if you want to walk out of here, with a hard-fought victory.
High-level basketball game, like you said. To your point, turnovers a bit high. That's 20 total in the first half. That's 1 turnover per minute. Most of those not exactly unforced. It's 2 really good defenses getting after it.
Yeah, you just can't take any pass for granted, and obviously you can't, trying to thread the needle between these 2 defenses is going to be tough. You got to make sure that the angle is there, the opening's there, put it right on the money.
Back to Savage Arena in Toledo right after this on ESPN.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1-for-$1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
Dunkin' is here with your holiday helpers. Peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes. A touch of delicious holiday magic to help you seize the season. Sip through the holidays with signature lattes at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
And the blowout continues. Breaks a tackle now at Allen. He will score. Touchdown.
This Christmas, you're invited to go back to the beginning.
Kingsman, world's finest tailor.
We are refined but brutal, civilized but merciless. And now it's time to be ruthless. That's more like The Kingsman, rated R. Only in theaters December 22nd.
Las mejores Target ofertas de hoy al sábado. Ahorren camisas de hombre, electrodomésticos de cocina, aspiradoras selectas y más. Solo esta semana en Target.
One man has been taken to the hospital after a single vehicle accident in Henderson County, Illinois.
In DuPage County.
Effingham County.
In rural Hamilton County. Where he was ejected from the vehicle.
Ejecting both passengers.
The victim was not wearing a seatbelt.
Reportedly not wearing seatbelts. Was thrown from the truck and then became pinned underneath it.
Wearing your seatbelt is the single best way to defend yourself in the event of a crash.
Drivers can learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com.
Trying to catch up to this one. Got through. Barzell between his legs.
Are you kidding me? Here's Marner and Nylander. Back to Marner.
Oh, save.
Oh, what a hit. Marching up ice. Around the hub. What a goal.
Oh, that's an incredible save.
Wow. Severson. Shot score. He scores. What a goal.
New players, new coaches. It'll be must-see TV.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
New players, new coaches. It'll be must-see TV.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
Nice student turnout here at Savage Arena. Enjoying the Rockets leading Bradley by 4 at the break. Let's look at upcoming schedules for these two teams. We sent it back in November. Toledo was going to run through the gauntlet in the month of December. They opened up on Saturday at Michigan State, playing a very good Bradley team here tonight. Going to go on the road and play Richmond, who knocked them out of the NIT last year, and then close non-conference play against Marshall before opening up in the league against Western Michigan.
Yeah, Coach Qualls did a great job of putting a non-conference schedule together to get them ready for Mid-American Conference play. And you know, you open up with Western Michigan at home, and then you go at Kent, never easy, and then go up to Mount Pleasant, which is always a tough place to play.
And as far as the Bradley Braves are concerned, they're already one game into the Missouri Valley Conference schedule, a late win over Northern Iowa in their opener last week. They'll play St. Joseph's. They'll play Sam Houston State, and either UTEP or North Carolina Central down at the Don Haskins Sun Bowl Invitational right before Christmas. Then Bellarmine, who is relatively new to Division I in the last couple of years, can go on the road to Indiana State to ring in the new year on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, and Indiana State, a team who just beat Miami, a team here out of the Mid-American Conference, beat them by 1 last weekend, and Miami's off to a great start, 5-3 on the season for them, and you know, that's a big win, so that won't be easy going on the road for Bradley at Indiana State. But this Bradley team can beat anybody on any given night the way they defend.
Tell you what else won't be easy, the second half for either of these teams. Toledo up 4 on the Braves. We'll see what happens second half when we come back.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cash back new card members earn at the end of their first year automatically.
Woo, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
At BK, the Italian original chicken is back and in the 2 for $6. Thanks to Pete Newbacher. Crispy chicken, marinara sauce, and melty mozzarella. Because of him. For Pete's sake, the Italian original chicken sandwich is back in the 2 for $6. Pete's way better.
And the blowout continues. It's another touchdown. What a huge play at this point in the game. Breaks the tackle now, Allen fighting through, and he's got space. He will score. Touchdown.
Low iron levels were making me so tired. When I tried Blood Builder by Megafood, I felt a big difference. It's gentle on my stomach, and I don't get the usual side effects. It combines key nutrients with real food. If you're struggling with low energy, you have to try it.
Keenan.
Hey, Keenan.
Looking good.
Feeling good. I just found all these cars on Auto Trader. Wow. I wait for the best part there, Microwave. A dealer is going to deliver this car to our home.
Never leave home. Never leave home.
Oh, it's here. There is one thing I can't do from home. Drive. Someone stop him.
Keenan!
Got your letter, refrigerator.
Roll out.
What is your name?
Stanton Carlisle.
From Academy Award winner Guillermo del Toro.
People are desperate to tell you who they are. Desperate to be seen.
Comes a dark jewel of an American saga. Nightmare Alley is gorgeous and fantastically sinister.
You don't fool people, Stan. They fool themselves.
Bradley Cooper's performance is riveting.
You're not as hard to read as you think.
And Cate Blanchett delivers a knockout in one of the best films of the year.
Let the mirror show you who you are.
Nightmare Alley, rated R, only in theaters Friday.
For me? You shouldn't have.
And there's more where that came from.
No kidding.
It's everything you wished for, including the price.
Behind a strong man, there must be a strong woman.
Respect, fellas! It's about respect! And the Giants have won Super Bowl 46!
We lost again.
Severson, shots. Oh, what a hit. Oh, save. Are you kidding me? He scores! What a goal!
Ready for the second half here at Savage Arena. Mid-American Conference basketball on ESPN. Toledo up 4 on Bradley, 35-31. Mason Lowry, Red Boyd up in the booth. Let's go down to Normandy Burrell.
Mason and Rhett, I was able to catch up with Coach Wardle at the end of the half there, and he said we're only down 4. That's a nice positive, and he said it's not impossible to come back from that. He said we need to be more aggressive on defense and be more aggressive on the glass all around. He wants his team to have those second chance points that Toledo's getting, as well as just ending their run streak. Back to you.
Normandy, thanks. Far too many second chance points for Toledo. For Brian Wardle's liking, Toledo was +8 in second chance points. They out-rebounded Bradley by 6. And one of the things that Coach Wardle had pointed out, but early on in the season they were fouling too much and not being fouled enough. They fouled too much in the first half, and when they did get to the line themselves, they weren't effective, just 1 of 5.
Yeah, and I think both clubs' point of emphasis has to be get to the free throw and get some easy points here, because scoring against the opposing team's 5 has been very, very difficult. I think for both clubs, at halftime, when you play a high level of basketball like this on both ends of the floor, your margin for error is obviously much, much smaller than maybe normal. So your decision-making has to be on point. Your passing has to be on point. Your communication, most importantly, specifically on the defensive end, has to be rock solid if you're going to win enough possessions, get out of here with a victory.
End of the shot clock. That was ugly from Ray J. Dennis, and a shot clock violation to open the half. And we talked about it in the first half. The way Bradley defends, they move their feet really well. They get into you, and they're so long. They're tough.
They really are, and they win the one-on-one battles. They don't give up dribble penetration too often. And again, what is that? The byproduct of that is just getting the ball inside. But the byproduct of that is you don't have to help. And when you don't have to help, you don't get the drive and kick extra pass, to get open looks that, Toledo has predicated their success on over the last several years. So, Bradley's done a good job with that overall. But, to Toledo's credit, they've done the same. They've given up very few easy stuff, on the offensive end. They've been just as stingy.
Looking for a better possession this time around. Ryan Rollins got a good look. It didn't fall for him. Kept alive, though, by Dennis. Here's Shoemate from the outside. Got it.
And that's the ability he brings as an undersized 5. He can stretch the floor and knock it down. 47% from behind the arc coming into this one. Just drilled his 15th three-point field goal.
Last season, if you remember, after being declared eligible, he missed his first 9 threes and then shot 51% from outside the rest of the way. Malevine Leons cannot answer. Remember, he had that 3 right at the end of the first half that made it a 4-point game. And Rollins just lost the dribble right to Terry Roberts. Here he comes, 3-on-2. Leon's the trailer. Kind of an awkward shot, got it back. 0 for 2 on that trip. Dennis with the rebound.
Good job by Toledo not fouling there, and that's going to be Roberts' 3rd foul. Not where you want to commit the foul, just coming across half court, but Roberts frustrated, I think, didn't get a bucket on the other end of the floor, and decision time for Coach Wardle. You see right there, the reach in across the body of Ray J. Dennis and the bump. That's enough to get the foul called.
Well, Coach Wardle sent Rink Mast into the game first and then thought better of leaving Roberts on the floor and brought Ville Tavanainen in, who really struggled with his shot in the first half. Just 1 of 5 from outside, including 2 air balls. Rollins using the glass really well tonight. 13 points for him. That's a game high.
And sometimes when you come off of a screen and they're hedging and recovering, if you just keep your dribble alive for an extra half second, as the recovery occurs, sometimes that gives you a crease to put the ball on the floor. Rollins did that there. Got just enough of a crease to get the shot off the glass.
Henry spun into Seth Milner and drew the foul. Jashawn Henry from up in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, has been an outstanding 6th man the last couple of years for Bradley. In fact, coming off the bench a season ago, averaged 10.6 points a game. That's the highest points per game average for any Missouri Valley Conference player starting 5 games or fewer in a season in 20 years. So an historically effective bench player. Having to adjust to not only being a starter this year and playing a ton of minutes, 28 per game, but really being a leader, which is something that Coach Wardle has challenged him to, and he's been up to the task.
He's done a great job, for them throughout this, throughout this season. He said in that leadership role, but also the ability to provide some production as well. Over about 10.5 points a game.
Raheem Moss hit a 3 in the first half. He missed 10 of the first 11 threes that he'd attempted on the season. Milner bouncing off of Rink Mast. Didn't get the bounce. Mast comes up with a rebound.
So Rink Mast is a good job of just holding his ground there. And Cedric Milner doesn't go backwards very often there.
Howell, that danced off the front of the rim, and Mast 0 for 2 from about 2 inches. Almost got the most difficult try to go, but he'll head to the free throw line.
It's a great job by him staying with it. Not getting frustrated on the first couple of minutes, stays with it. Gets a third chance here on the arm was Ray J. Dennis. And Mast gets to the free throw line.
Rink Mast, who grew up in the Netherlands playing korfball, which if you're unfamiliar with korfball, it's a sport that has about a 12-foot high basket and no backboard, similar to netball, which is played in the Commonwealth countries, mostly played in the Netherlands and Belgium. Wisely made the switch from korfball to basketball at age 8.
Well, that'll work on your touch. You don't have a backboard.
That's true. And of course, you're playing korfball into your teenage years. You're not going to come to the States and get a korfball scholarship anywhere. Poked out of bounds by Leons, the other Dutchman.
The length of Leons there was beaten on the play. Miller did a good job sealing, but the length able to get over the top and at least deflect the ball out of bounds. Let his defense reset.
Ray J. Dennis, 4 points, 3 rebounds, couple of assists. Denied at the rim. Pop back to him, though. Here is Shumate open for 3.
That's good ball movement there by the Toledo Rockets. Dennis to Milner. Milner with the extra pass. Shumate able to step in and knock down his second of the half.
Points for JT Shumate. This matches their largest lead of the game at 7 points, and the foul before the missed dunk from Henry, who came down a little awkwardly. Fine start to the second half for the Toledo Rockets. A 3 from Shumate a moment ago, the bucket inside from Henry. 7-point game.
At Progressive, we love your pets as much as you do. Like this guy in a hat. That's why Progressive Car Insurance covers your pets for up to $1,000 if they're ever in a car accident with you. This mini majorette's gonna march your way right
I'm sorry, can we stop? I know that we're selling car insurance here, but, all the cute little animals, it's too much.
Define too much.
What's wrong with cute animals?
So are we doing this or what?
Nah, it's over.
Well, someone's got to break the news to Mittens. She's a diva.
Of all the things that made Scrooge pout, he most disliked running and striding about. Until he discovered the Peloton tread. Sprinting and lifting sweat dripped from his head.
Good things happen to those who hustle.
His legs sang out like a Christmas choir. This grunt was #on fire. Yeah. Now Scrooge ran the holidays, no doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
On December 21st, bring Bond home.
So you're not dead.
Hello, Q. I've missed you.
It's the must-own film event of the year.
This is it.
IGN calls it the best Bond we've ever had. Every mission has led to this. No Time to Die on Blu-ray and DVD.
Severson, shots! Oh, what a hit! Oh, save! Are you kidding me? He scores! What a goal!
Behind a strong man, there must be a strong woman.
Respect, fellas! It's about respect! And the Giants have won Super Bowl 46!
We lost again.
Toledo leading by 7 early second half. We talked earlier about the relationship between the two head coaches, Todd Kowalczyk and Brian Wardle, and in part this game has kind of come together because of that relationship, but more to the point, it's two great mid-major basketball programs coming together. I'd like to see more of it in college basketball.
Oh, I agree, and because for a lot of these mid-majors, like a successful mid-major, like a Toledo and a Bradley, it's hard to schedule. You know, some of the the Power 5 teams, because simply the Power 5 teams don't want to schedule it, and and so where do you have to turn? You have to turn to each other, and it's great to see this type of a matchup. And if you're able to come away with a win against a successful mid-major, it helps your strength, your RPI, and all that good stuff that comes into play at the end of the year when it comes tournament time. So credit to both these clubs getting together and playing 3 times in the last few years.
Never too early in the season to start thinking about your NCAA net ranking. Toledo in the top 80, the best net ranking in the Mid-American Conference. And Bradley, as I have a feeling, is going to get a whole lot better over the course of the year. This is a really good basketball team who had a difficult start.
And to their credit, they fought through it. They fought through it. Now they've caught fire and playing more like Coach Wardle thought they had the potential to do coming into this season. And they're poised to continue to have a strong year in Valley play, and like I said, they got their first win with a victory over Northern Iowa.
Kent with a missed 3. Rollins challenging for the rebound. He can only hold off Rink Mast for so long, and then he wrapped up Tavanainen. So Rollins picks up his first foul. Bradley picked 6th out of 10, by the way, in the Missouri Valley Conference preseason poll. Drake, Loyola, and Northern Iowa picked the top 3. Loyola, of course, is moving on next year to the Atlantic 10, and what an addition that'll be for that league.
Yeah, they've had a lot of postseason success under Porter Moser the last couple of seasons, but he's moved on now to Oklahoma.
Rink Mast scoring inside. Drew Valentine has taken over that Loyola team, and I don't think they've missed a beat so far this season. One of the really bright young head coaches in college basketball. Here's Rollins down the lane and drew the foul en route. Is that Henry? Mikey Howell picks up his 3rd, so that's both point guards for Bradley with 3 fouls.
And Roberts is going to come back into this one with 3. So Coach Wardle is going to roll the dice here. Down 5, 14:50 to go. His point guard's going to come in and play with 3, and he's going to trust him that he can not pick up that 4th. The next few minutes.
By the way, talking about really good mid-major basketball games, there's another good one not far from here, Bowling Green and Oakland. That was a 3-point game at halftime. Oakland handed Toledo one of their 2 losses earlier this year. They blew the Rockets out of the water second half up at the Arena.
Yeah, it was a tightly contested ball game, a lot like this one for a half, and then we opened. And Mr. Kane down there, up there, is really talented, and he had a big night for Oakland that night, and he turned around and parlayed a 29-point, 17-rebound performance against Toledo into a 30-point, 17-rebound performance against Alabama, who just knocked off Gonzaga. So Coach Campy has got a good squad up there, and it'll be a big test for them against Bowling Green.
Brian Rollins frustrated with the foul. Came after kind of an awkward drive from Kent. It was because Dennis got a hand in there, got caught on his hip for a moment, then a late whistle. You could see Keyshawn Saunders react to it, throwing his arms up. Kent to the line where he shoots just 40% for the season.
As pure as it gets on that one.
One of those weird quirks of basketball sometimes where guys that are really good 3-point shooters are not effective at the free throw line. Plenty effective there, 2 for 2. And Bradley into a bit of a full court press.
A little 2-2-1 action, just like Toledo employed earlier in the ballgame, just trying to slow down this Rocket team. If you don't get a steal, at the very least, you drive the shot clock down and speed up the offense here quicker than they would like to.
Rollins on the bigger Jashawn Henry. Cooper Jacoby bouncing off of Rink Mast, goes up strong, didn't get the bounce. And the foul is on Roberts, so that's number 4.
He doesn't like it, but there's nothing he can do about it. It was on the weak side. Was on the attempted box out or not. Let's take a look here. Ray J. Dennis going hard to the rim, and well, I don't know. Keyshawn Saunders came crashing down there as well. I didn't see a whole lot there. It's a tough break for Bradley and Terry Roberts.
6 minutes into the second half, Bradley's in the bonus already. Next Toledo foul will put them on the free throw line. Jacoby gathers underneath two defenders there, throw up an awkward and wild shot, and Jason Kent ripped it down. Neither team shooting well second half. Bradley 2 of 10, Toledo 3 of 9. The Braves are going to have to survive for 5, 6, 7 minutes without Terry Roberts, their leading scorer, you would think, with 4 fouls.
Well, when he had to sit in the first half, he did a pretty good job. Bradley in general did a pretty good job of playing without him. And they were down 7 to cut it to 4 at the half, and only down 1 possession here.
Let Ryan Rollins create. Off balance. Drew the foul. Connor Hickman picks up his 3rd.
Ryan Rollins did a great job on that possession. He kept the ball low through traffic. Doesn't allow the guards the help to get the hands on it. He's allowed to elevate and get contact, get to the free throw line. It's like football. You ever hear the low man wins? Same thing with dribbling through traffic. Low man wins. You keep that ball low. It keeps those extra hands and arms from getting a deflection and a steal. It allows you to get to the glass.
So Howell and Hickman each have 3 fouls for Bradley, and Roberts, of course, with 4. Nobody more than 2 for Toledo. Rollins splits the free throw. Milner has already checked in. Elijah Wilson comes in now. Howell and Tavanainen in for the Braves. That is not where you want to catch it against the full court press. Bailed up by the deflection. And that's a moving screen. Jason Kent. So the fouls piling up for both teams.
And that's an area, coming into this one, you mentioned it, a couple different times here where Toledo could have an advantage. Toledo 76% coming in the ball game, their free throw line. Bradley just at 62%, but neither team got to the line very often at all in that first half. So we'll see what the bonus does for both clubs here in the second.
Dennis tried to flip it in. It was rejected by Darius Hanna. It's a Bradley team that averages 6 blocks per game. That's their 4th of the night. Hickman couldn't hoist a 3, and Tavanainen won't be shy. 1 for 6 from outside. Collected by Milner. Milner a missed 3. That's flicked out near the Toledo bench, and it will be Bradley basketball.
Without JT Shoemate and Ryan Rollins on the floor right now, the question for Toledo is, where are you going to go to get a basket? Milner took a long 3 there to no avail. Now Toledo looks back to their little token pressure here, 2-2-1. Again, just trying not necessarily get a steal, but slow down the momentum of this Bradley offense here and try to get them deep in the shot clock where they got to take shots over contested hands.
Hanna got run into by Raheem Moss. 3rd foul on Moss at the under 12 timeout, second half.
Five breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep. 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat. And the pizza plus another pizza.
The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
It's not 1,000 lights twinkling that makes their holidays special. It's you. And 20 volts whirring, 10 dishes warming, 8 guests arriving, 42 inches rolling, 1 million leaves blowing, or 1 gift card gifting. If you can't make up your mind, make the holidays yours with Black Friday prices now through December. At the Home Depot, how doers get more done.
You ready for the surprise?
Resuming moments like these starts with protecting our kids against COVID-19 and dangerous new variants.
Oh, you miss him.
Get the latest facts by visiting getvaccineanswers.org and speaking to your pediatrician or healthcare provider.
This time, nobody knows. Has there ever been a time like this?
Put that on a poster.
When everybody has a shot? The hype is real. The hope is valid. Welcome to a new time. Anyone's time.
And the blowout continues. Breaks a tackle now, and Allen. He will score. Touchdown.
Toledo's still up by 4 here at Savage Arena. Both offenses, Red, have been stuck in neutral for some time now. Bradley's missed 9 of their last 11 shots. Toledo's without a bucket the last 4:23.
Incredible defenses. They continue to grind you down in the half court, and that's the key, half court. Neither team's getting any kind of transition opportunities. They're forcing you to play in the half court, score against all 5. They're doing a pretty good job overall, too, of not giving up too many second chance opportunities. See if Bradley can catch it from the free throw line as they're in the bonus the rest of the way.
Darius Hannah has really struggled at the line this year. He's now just 2 of 12. For the game, they're shooting just 50%, 6 of 12. Toledo 5 of 7. It's a much better offensive lineup on the floor right now for the Rockets with Shoemate and Rollins back in. There's the dump off. Ray J. Dennis, the drive, finding Raheem Moss for the easy deuce.
One of the rare opportunities you're able to turn the corner and play 2-on-1 on the back end without any contest on the shot. Moss had an easy one.
That annoyed Brian Ward, at least sending all 3 bigs back into the game. Shoemate forces the turnover. That boy deflects off the hands of Raheem Moss. That was a heck of a collision between him and Mikey Howell under the bucket. You get hit by Raheem Moss, you're going to feel it. Jason Kent is going to feel that.
Yeah, Raheem Moss is a superior athlete. He's heavily recruited for football coming out of high school, out of Springfield, Ohio. Football powerhouse down there. Where they just lost in the Division I state championships here in Ohio.
Honestly, it feels like football season just started. I can't believe it's over already.
I know, and it's like the basketball is about a month in at this point, and it just kind of feel like it's just starting.
Shoemate's been effective from the outside of this game. He's hit a couple of threes. Rollins loves the mid-range game. That rattles out. How different does the Bradley offense look, Rhett, without Terry Roberts on the floor?
Well, it takes away, number one, it takes away your leading scorer. So a guy that can put the ball in the basket in a lot of different ways, but more importantly, it's the penetration of Terry Roberts. And not only does it create opportunities for himself, but it creates open looks in the perimeter for his teammates. And right now, they don't seem to have that guy that can really break that little defense down. And as a result, your shots are contested at a much higher rate. Puts more stress on you to make that opening shot. That first shot of the possession.
That's nifty from Leons, but couldn't finish. Mast with the rebound, goes back up. That was clean from Raheem Moss, who dislodged the basketball. We have held ball or a timeout.
So Rick Mass has some strong hands in there. He's at 3-4 guys just raking across the arms trying to knock the ball loose, and he was able to keep control for the most part there before going up and getting it dislodged by Raheem Moss. Tie-up stays with the Braves.
Big Deshaun Henry, 6'6", 230, an offensive foul. The charge taken by Moss.
Nice job by Raheem Moss. Gave a little bit of space, read the move, and jumped it. Takes the hit right in the middle of the chest, right in front of the official. Rocket basketball.
It's a tough dude, Raheem Moss. It's someone that Todd Kowalczyk just raves about.
Well, that's what he can do for this ball club. He can sit down and he can guard. And then obviously, you know, he can penetrate the ball as well. We saw him knock down a 3 earlier. I think that's part of his game that will continue to grow throughout this season after having to sit out a season ago.
You guys mentioned it earlier. He is this rocket energy in the junkyard dog. When he comes out and he plays the way that he's supposed to play, they are very, very hard to beat, and he's proven that tonight.
The way he plays, Todd Kowalczyk compares him a bit to Ryan Pearson in terms of that edge and that energy. And if you're any aspect of your game really is compared to Ryan Pearson's, you're doing something right.
You're doing a lot right. Ryan Pearson's an outstanding player.
Ryan Rollins read the pass well, goes right around Hickman to lay it in. 20 points for Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, one of the very rare. He's going to get a call for a bump, or no, get a timeout by Coach Wardle.
A 7-0 Toledo run, their biggest lead of the night, thanks to the steal and score from Rollins. Rockets up 10.
The airport can be a real challenge for new homeowners who have become their parents.
Okay, everybody, let's do a ticket check. Paper tickets.
We're off to a horrible start, but we can overcome it. We're not going to point out our houses, landmarks, or major highways during takeoff.
Don't buy anything. I packed so many delicious snacks. They're...
Nope.
Did you say ballpark when Group 2 is going to get boarded?
2 hours and 58 minutes.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Someone should have left home earlier.
Dunkin' is here with your holiday helpers. Peppermint mocha and toasted white chocolate signature lattes. A touch of delicious holiday magic to help you seize the season. Sip through the holidays with signature lattes at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
What makes my neighborhood great? The folk, the people, always finding a way. There's a lot of talent in these streets, all grinding for an opportunity. The court is where we push each other to grow, where lessons are taught. Because when we lift each other up here, we all get better everywhere.
And that's how you change the game for good. I said that screen, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Did you know 85% of your child's brain is developed by age 3? The Play Kits by Lovevery are an easy way to support your child's learning. Each kit includes expert-designed toys and activities that build important skills and inspire your child through stage-based play. Oh yeah, about stage-based play. When you sign up for the Play Kits, we deliver a box every 2 to 3 months that's matched to your child's age and what they're hungry to learn. Lovevery provides the map to help you confidently guide your child's learning. Unlock the joy of intentional play.
Staring at fate, I'm in the lead and I'm breaking away. She want me now, but I'm making her wait.
Well, with Toledo up by 10 with 9:05 to play, Brian Wardle has no choice but to roll the dice and send Terry Roberts back into the game with 4 fouls. He sat for 5 minutes and 1 second. In that time, Bradley scored just 2 points. And I asked, how different does the Bradley offense look without him? Well, they don't look effective.
No, again, what he can do with the basketball in his hands, create for himself and for his teammates. They just don't have that guy that can break the defense down when he's not on the floor. So we'll see what impact he has here, playing with 4 for the final 9 minutes.
Deshaun Henry going baseline.
Deshaun Henry says, I'll help you out. Mr. Roberts. The flush on the baseline.
That kind of sucked the life out of the building for a few seconds, didn't it?
Well-needed basket for Bradley.
Almost reached in and committed his 5th right away on Shoemate.
Now he's got Ryan Rollins. Got to be careful.
Shoemate launches along 2. If you're Bradley, you got to find a way to hide Roberts defensively, but that's not easy. They play man.
Yeah, and the switch there, he had the switch. He got locked up with Ryan Rollins, and it's a tough matchup.
Launching a 3, that rattled out.
You got a good look at that one, too. Just couldn't get it to fall.
It's been a pretty typical JT Shoemate game statistically. 16 points and 7 rebounds. And that's a foul on Toledo, the big freshman, Mihai Carcona. Under 8 minutes left, the Rocket lead still 10.
The Snapshot app from Progressive rewards you for driving safe and driving less.
Okay, what message did you hear this time? Safe drivers can save using Snapshot.
What's Snapshot?
What the commercial was about.
I tune commercials out.
Yeah, me too. They're always like, blah, blah, blah.
Tell me about it. I'm going to a silent retreat next weekend.
My niece got kicked out of one of those.
For talking?
Grand larceny.
How about we get back to the savings?
Yes, I would like to talk about that.
Okay.
It's the most joyous time of the year.
Especially at T-Mobile. Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers. Like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us. Only at T-Mobile.
It's been so long since we had fun, so let's spend time in the sun. Bring your flippy flopso and prepare for lots of splash-o. All aboard the fun ship, come dance with your hippie hips. Guys, burger mi amore, sky ride, how I missed you so. Trips to Half Moon Cay, beaches take your breath away. Just do not forget to pack some sunscreen. Carnival, back to fun!
Love Every is a support system for parents and toys for your little one. Everything in the box is designed by experts for each stage of your child's development. We link brain science and Montessori to the way you play. Every 2 to 3 months, a play kit is delivered to your home. It's matched to your child's age and what they are hungry to learn. We've done all the research, so you don't have to. Love Every provides the map to help you confidently guide your child's learning. Unlock the joy of intentional play.
What an enjoyable basketball game this has been. 54-44, Toledo up on Bradley. And the really impressive thing about the way Toledo is playing offense, I think, Rhett, they're shooting 45%, 39% from 3. We've mentioned it all game long. Bradley's identity is what they do defensively. They're holding teams to just 38% shooting collectively so far this year. And in the last 5 seasons, they're one of just 8 teams nationally to hold their opponents under 42% shooting over the course of a season, with the likes of Florida State, Houston, Maryland, Virginia. Such a good defensive program, and that will draw the ire of Brian Wardle, who just got teed up. And Keyshawn Saunders is fired up.
Well, Keyshawn Saunders has answered the bell here this evening off that Rocket bench on both sides of the floor. Knocked down a 3 in the first half, but his job defensively that he has done, coming off that bench, providing energy, providing a spark, taking 2 now offensive charges in this ball game there, helping his ball club retain possession.
Coach Wardle doesn't like it, but it's the extension of that off elbow that is called more often than not.
And as we've said time and time again, is if you take the hit in the middle of the chest, more times than not, right or wrong or indifferent, the call's going to go on behalf of the defense. If it's a grazing blow, normally the offensive player gets the benefit of the call. Keyshawn Saunders took that one right in the middle of the chest once again. The 2-3 zone now for Bradley.
Saunders open, corner 3, sailed it. Roberts with a rebound. Mast couldn't hang on, came off of a Toledo player last. Mast just 3 points, but 8 big rebounds. Such a force on the inside. Roberts trying to shake loose. Nice finish.
One move. Ryan Rollins played that pretty darn well, and Roberts, the patience, the footwork, the step through. Big shot. Now 2-3 zone again. You got a feeling for Coach Wardle. This is the protect Terry Roberts, who's playing with 4, not getting him caught up in switches.
Milner put that off the underside of the backboard, but Leon's got him.
Good job. A little high-low action by Toledo against that zone. You get the ball to high post area, you dive the backside. Nobody home. Leons was late getting over to Milner, and Milner gets to the free throw line.
Seth Milner's had a tough game offensively, just 1 of 5 from the floor. It's just his 3rd point. Followed by his 4th. Oof, Mast almost threw that away. His target had been a shorter guard than Tavalainen. Might have sailed out of bounds. Roberts trying to work his way through. Rollins put a hand in there. Tavalainen open on the wing.
Nice job by Tavalainen, just respacing on the arc to give Roberts an outlet.
Rollins to Shoemate. It came off his hands. 13th Rocket turnover. Braves down by 9. They need to make a run here in the worst way. Rollins held him up. Picks up his 3rd foul.
He's got to be careful too, because you don't want him playing with 4 and have to pull back a little bit if you're Toledo. A lot of time left in this one. 6 minutes to go. How about these 2 elite scorers, Roberts and Rollins, just going at one another on both ends. With a double-digit lead right now, Coach Waltic's going to give Ryan Rollins a break, see if he can't buy a minute or 2 to get him to the final stretch, final 4 minutes, and still maintain their lead.
So Moss back in, as is Mikey Howell for Bradley.
If you're Toledo, you got to be sharp on your box outs. Shoemate, especially Milner with Mast next to him, really have to get a body and hold that block out, so you don't get a back tap or a tip out and give Bradley another opportunity.
The Rocket lead trimmed down to 7. 58-51 with just over 6 minutes left. Toledo right now with their leading scorer, Ryan Rollins, on the bench. And JT Shoemate, a misfire from 3. Great hands from Milner. Roberts was racing in there to try and take it the other way. Dennis, nice cut, JT Shoemate.
That second time, Shoemate streaking right down the lane. Shoemate's defender helps on the baseline drive. He slides in right behind it. Dennis found him with the bounce pass.
Roberts in the paint. And a late whistle against Shoemate, who picks up his 3rd.
I think it was the right call, though. It was a late call, but the right call. Shoemate got some wrist on Terry Roberts. No complaint out of Shoemate. So he may have been guilty of that. Just try to get a contested hand on Roberts. Roberts did a nice job from the free throw line here this evening.
He's trying to make up for lost time, the 5 minutes that he missed after picking up his 4th foul at the 14:06 mark. free throws. Dozen points for Roberts. Shoemate threw that to where Rollins was, not where Rollins was headed.
Yeah, that's what was unforced errors. You just love to have back if you're Toledo. Got a 3-possession ball game here. A lot of time left in this one.
Nothing there for Roberts. Moss almost came up with a steal. On the drive, it's Kent. 2-possession game, 60-55.
Took the ball right at Ryan Rollins, knowing he didn't want to pick up his fourth.
That's got the Bradley bench fired up. Rollins with 2 defenders around him. Tavanainen reached in from the back. And Rollins then to the line for 2, with the Rockets now in the double bonus.
For two teams that didn't get to the free throw line much in the opening half, it's going to come down to who shoots free throws better down the stretch in this tight ball game.
Rollins for the year, 82%. 5 of 7 tonight, 5 of 8 tonight.
The ball came out of his hands pretty quick there. He didn't get a chance to snap that wrist, get that follow through.
Rollins now with 23 points. A much more efficient offensive outing than the 21 he had at Michigan State on 22 shots, including 1 of 7 from 3 was garnered by Max Christie, one of the nation's best freshmen. And there's Terry Roberts rattling in a 3. It's a 3-point game.
Yeah, he just rose and fired over the top of the defense, playing the drive that he's so good at. Good read, good finish.
Here's Milner, open. Little too much, and the rebound grabbed by Leons. Bradley can tie it on this trip. They've made their last 4 shots. Make it their last 5. Roberts way too easy to the bucket.
Yeah, cue up that ball screen, turn the corner, nobody on the backside. It's going to force a Todd Kowalczyk timeout.
Bradley was down 12 with 6:54 left. Terry Roberts making all the difference. A 1-point game in the Glass City.
At Progressive, we love your pets as much as you do. Like this guy in a hat. That's why Progressive Car Insurance covers your pets for up to $1,000 if they're ever in a car accident with you. This mini majorette's gonna march your way right
I'm sorry, can we stop? I know that we're selling car insurance here, but, you know, all the cute little animals, it's too much.
Define too much.
What's wrong with cute animals?
So are we doing this or what?
Nah, it's over.
Well, someone's got to break the news to Mittens. She's a diva.
One man has been taken to the hospital after a single vehicle accident in Henderson County, Illinois.
In DuPage County.
Effingham County.
In rural Hamilton County. Where he was ejected from the vehicle, ejecting both passengers.
The victim was not wearing a seatbelt.
Reportedly not wearing seatbelts.
Was thrown from the truck and then became pinned underneath it.
Wearing your seatbelt is the single best way to defend yourself in the event of a crash.
Drivers can learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com.
New players, new coaches. It'll be must-see TV.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
If you want a great team, you need natural-born leaders, some tough cookies, and a few who do anything to win. Find a group like that, you've got one hell of a team.
Well, call it the Terry Roberts effect. He's pulled Bradley to within a point. He's got 9 points, since coming back in after picking up the 4th foul.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. As advertised, to highlight him coming into the ballgame under 15 points a game. Toledo did a good job of keeping him at bay. Except for the last couple minutes, he's got his ball club right back in it.
That's Ray J. Dennis.
A good strong move by Ray J. Dennis over 2 taller defenders.
First bucket in a while for the Rocket point guard, 6 points. Give it to Roberts and watch him create. Extra pass to Kent, launches a 3 off the heel. Dennis rips down the rebound. A really good rebounding point guard, averages 6 boards a night. Here's Rollins on the attack, flips it in with the offhand.
So they're able to get dribble penetration the last 2 possessions. Been hard to come by throughout the night. Did a good job there, getting 2 buckets off the dribble drive.
Now Brian Wardle calls timeout so he can get into Malevi Leons. Not happy with his defense.
Well, they've been so good all night long. Both clubs have of really making life difficult for the offense, especially on your initial options. And Coach Wardle's upset because it's one of the very few times they've had back-to-back breakdowns off the dribble drive. And Toledo was able to take advantage with their 2 guards, and Dennis and Ryan Rollins.
Great to have fans back. Great to have the band back. Great to have college basketball back.
It's outstanding. And if you know, obviously you're going to float back and forth with football and college basketball, but as football season is going to take a little hiatus here for a few weeks, you can dive into basketball here, and we've seen a lot of action so far in these tournaments over Thanksgiving and coming out of those tournaments. I mean, Ohio State gets beat on a buzzer beater down in the Fort Myers shootout against Florida. They come home, all they do is beat Duke, the #1 team of the country at the time. Purdue now ascends to the #1 team in the nation. They got great balance with great size inside. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Football might take a break for a couple of weeks, but not for Toledo Rocket football. They're opening up the bowl season in the Bahamas against Coastal Carolina just 10 days from now. A missed 3 and Rollins with a rebound.
Yeah, Coach Candle's football squad really hit their stride in the month of November. Really played awfully well.
Rollins with a miss. Tapped out to Terry Roberts. And Leon's up ahead of him. Finds Leon, but if he passed underneath, he got caught up in the air and was fouled.
They're going to get Ryan Rollins on this. That's going to be his 4th. He's obviously had a great game offensively. He's one of your leading free throw shooters as well. So this game gets down the final minutes here. You do not want to lose him off the floor for his ability to handle the basketball and also knock down free throws. Got to be careful if you're 5 and white.
Leon's a 74% foul shooter. A member's bounce on the first.
Expect Bradley to put some kind of pressure on whether it's a 2-2-1. Trying to speed up Toledo so they can force a turnover.
That was a line drive and still a 2-possession game. Approaching 2 minutes left in Toledo. Rollins dribbled that off his own foot out of bounds.
Well, keeps the door open for Bradley here. 2-possession ball game for Toledo. Got to dig in and get another stop. Obviously, Terry Roberts off the ball right now. Want to get him coming to the basketball and a dribble handoff, some kind of action to get him a chance to turn the corner and get downhill and create.
Tavanainen with the ball in his hands. Looking for Roberts on the wing. Off the front of the rim, and Schumann rips it down, his 9th board of the night. The Rockets trying to get this one over the finish line. They'll use up as much clock as they can before calling a timeout. Full timeout with 1:24 remaining.
What a game this has been, partner. Just what we thought it could have been. It is. God, it's good to have basketball back. Fans. I know we keep, it sounds just so simplistic, but you know, everybody went through it a lot last year, and you know, fortunately we were able to have some kind of a season ago without fans and whatnot, which was nice. But at the same time, when you get everybody back in here, right, the band, the cheerleaders, the dance team, the smells of an arena and a ball game, it's something you'll never take for granted again.
And we saw a lot of great basketball here last year. The Toledo Rockets were the Mid-American Conference regular season champions. But it's that age-old question, if great college basketball is played in an empty arena, did it really happen?
It did happen. I watched it. It did happen. And it was for all the adversity that these teams had to go through, just to be able to practice. And then, you know, and then take care of yourselves off the floor and have games. And, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot, not physically, but mentally, on everybody involved. And, you know, it's nice this year that we've been able to kind of have a sense of normalcy once again with the setup and the environment. And again, you know, I think we've only had this maybe a couple of situations where the teams had to forfeit due to, you know, regulations. But you know, hopefully we can get through this winter, the heart of the winter, unscathed, and get a full slate of games in.
Right now, Toledo's only concern is this one. Trying to see out the last minute plus.
2-3 zone by Bradley coming out of that timeout.
Seth Milner launches a deep two. It won't go. The rebound grabbed by Jashawn Henry. Plenty of time still for Bradley. Moss on Roberts. Shoemate switched for a moment. Roberts weaving his way in. Throws it up and in off glass.
Roberts would have played that pretty darn well. But give Roberts credit. 2-point ball game, 50 seconds to go. 2-3 zone, Bradley stays in it.
Toledo's so good at moving the basketball, and you have to be to beat the 2-3 zone. Dennis, a misfire. Rollins didn't time the jump quite right. The ball in the hands of the Braves. They can take the lead with a 3, tie with a 2.
Differential about 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Ron Warble not using a timeout yet. Roberts to the bucket, lays it in. 65-65.
Coach Kowalczyk doesn't look like he's going to use a timeout. He's going to play this out.
Can the Rockets walk it off? Ball in the hands of your star, Ryan Rollins. Here he comes with 6 seconds. He's fouled by Henry.
And it's going to put Ryan Rollins at the free throw line. Chance to take the lead, but it does give Bradley 6 seconds. Right there, the hand check. Hands in the middle of the chest. But it does. It's going to give Bradley 6 seconds left. Come back the other way with a chance to tie or win the game.
Ryan Rollins, 6 of 9 at the line tonight. Restores Toledo's lead. Points for Ryan Rollins, and Coach Wardle uses Bradley's final timeout.
So Bradley, it's not like women's basketball where you get the inbound at a half court. You got to go the length of the floor. If you're Bradley, you're obviously the ball. You know who the hands ball is going to be into. Now, if you're Toledo, the decision is going to be: do you double him to get the ball out of his hands? But in doing that, you risk of the kick-out pass, extra pass, open 3 that can beat you. You know, at this point, or you just play, you know, do you play it just helping recover defense and make him make a shot over contested hands? You know, I do expect Toledo, though, again, although you got to guard against a foul yourself and put them at the free throw line, but some soft full court pressure, just try to maybe get Terry Roberts to turn once or twice instead of giving him a straight line drive coming downhill. But you got to do it without fouling. Now for Bradley, we've seen Levi Leons he's got 3 made triples on the night. Tavanainen has 2 triples. Connor Hickman's knocked one down. Mikey Howell obviously Terry Roberts himself. So they got a bunch of guys you can go to from the perimeter to knock one down.
They come out with Roberts, Mast, Henry, Tamanainen, and Leons. And Toledo, the same five of Dennis, Rollins, Moss, Milner, and Shoemate. Have to go the length of the floor, remember. And Bradley's out of timeouts. So here we go. Brink Mast taking a lot of time. Here comes Leons, tries to get it to Roberts. At the buzzer! No! So close! And Toledo survives!
Woo! What an ending to that one. That ball had a chance, and this brought you flashbacks to last year when Bradley hit a late second shot to beat Toledo, but nice job by Leons to get the ball to Roberts. A good job by him just to get those shoulders square to have an opportunity. Good defense by Toledo to force a tough shot. What a ball game.
And a big hug between Todd Kowalczyk and Brian Wardle just moments ago. Coach Wardle trudges off the floor wondering what might have been. Here's Normandy with Coach Kowalczyk.
Coach, what a game. What do you have to say about your players' resiliency to stick together?
That's a good Bradley team, you know, and I can't stand when I have to play friends like that, you know, but we clearly made some big plays defensively, rebounded all night. Seth Milner was sick as a dog. He just fought through, didn't play very well, but we just got it out to win.
And now Ryan Rollins, he's a score leader on your team. He put up a good 27 points again tonight. What do you have to say about his game and how much he's improved from last year?
No, he gets to our spots, but I'm going to go celebrate with him right now.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Normandy. A relieved Todd Kowalczyk going back to celebrate.
Well, that game was an absolute war between these two clubs. And, you know, we talked about Bradley's ability to defend. I think tonight you saw Toledo's ability to defend as well. And, you know, holding this club to 65 points is, you know, as good as they are, good as they've been lately. And for, you know, Toledo, Ryan Rollins, 27 points. He's the leader of this ball club. But JT Shoemate, what about him? 18 points, 9 rebounds on the evening. Did a really good job. He was just a tough matchup for Mass and the rest of the Bradley Braves here this evening. But I thought Toledo, too, Ray J. Dennis, he came up big, you know, down the stretch. At one point, it was a one-point game. And all he did was come down and get a big basket and a big rebound on the next possession. That's what leaders do. You know, and I thought Keyshawn Saunders was big off the bench. He knocked down a big three in the opening half and really gave him a spark defensively. Took 2 charges as well. He was productive. Raheem Moss was solid and consistent at both ends of the floor throughout the entire ball game. So this is a total team win by Toledo. And if you're Bradley, it's a tough loss on the road, but you showed a lot of moxie. Down 12 with just 6 minutes left to come back and give yourself a chance to win the ball game in the last possession.
And just centimeters away from walking it off on a Roberts three. And by the way, Terry Roberts, an outstanding last 9 minutes, finishes with a team-high 21 points, 13 of them coming in the last 9.
Yeah, you just saw why he's a great player. And he said he could do it a lot of different ways to start this ball game, and we saw all of it. We saw from behind the long line, almost got that last one to go. But he got to the rim. He set up teammates as well, hit the mid-range in traffic. An outstanding player is 0 in red.
Statistically, games don't get much more even than that.
No, they don't. You know, both teams did settle down in the turnover. I think it was 6-5 in the second half. But I think Toledo, big for them, obviously +8 in points in the paint. That was big, especially with 2 big buckets late in that ball game on dribble drives. And, you know, I thought also, you know, for Toledo, they had 19 second chance points to 6. You know, for Bradley overall, everything else is pretty much even like you see on the screen here. It's just a great basketball team between 2 very good mid-major programs across the country.
In the moment, it's a really good win for Toledo. I have a feeling it's going to be a really, really good win as this season progresses. This is a Bradley basketball team that is going to win a ton of games.
Yeah, without question. And you know, they got off to a good start beating a Northern Iowa team in their conference that was picked ahead of them in the preseason. You know, so they're playing really good basketball here over the course of their last 4 or 5 ball games, and under Coach Ward, they're going to continue that moving forward.
My thanks to our crew: Cody Gross, Drew Dominiak, Casey Ackley, AJ Perry, Al Carpenter, Christian Demo, Grace Powell, Jordan Sansom, our director and technical director Greg Smith. Our executive producer at the University of Toledo is John Idemiller. For Rhett Boyd, Normandy Burrell, and all of our crew, this is Mason Lowry saying so long from Savage Arena in Toledo, Ohio, where the Rockets outlast Bradley 67-65. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and are archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.